Good morning. I really appreciate women. I think they are fantastic creatures. Then there's the bad women. I don't like them, of course. And I see the difference between men and women when they go bad, for instance. I see a bad man who wants to control his wife. He will use force. A really bad man will do this. A bad woman will not. Well, of course, there are exceptions, but a bad woman who wants to control her husband will manipulate him. Right? I'm sure you've seen this. And I mean, look at the politicians today. The political system has been feminized, so they are all manipulating and lying. They are all acting like bad women. The system is like this today. So it's hard for a man to raise his voice, for instance, if he's a politician. But if he manipulates, that's fine, you know. This is totally accepted. So that's what the system looks like. It's a bad woman character system, sort of. You see guys like Justin Trudeau. I don't see him as a man. I consider him to be like a bad woman. Because he will not be frank, he will lie and he will manipulate. He's doing it all the time. Now, I saw him, for instance, he was talking to the Canadians and he said, it's going to get tougher. He said something like this. He said, you better prepare for this. It's going to get tough. And the next thing I see is him on a plane in first class going to Jamaica. You know? And I see the Swedish government. We have a new government. And it's better, absolutely. But I don't trust them at all. See? Because they are feminized. They are like bad women. They are manipulating. They are lying. Right? A good example of this is the Pandemic Relief Fund. Right? This is a treasonous act, if you ever saw one. Right? This is Sweden borrowing tons of money, I don't remember how much, to send down to the southern European countries. And these northern European countries, they did this. So countries like Spain, Portugal, Italy and Greece, they got tons of money. It was called the Pandemic Relief Fund, I think, and it was an initiative from the EU. So Sweden borrowed that money and sent it down there. And these politicians, many of them that we see now in the government, they approved of this. And now we see in Spain, I saw this, in Spain they are now making the weeks shorter for workers. Right, so the Swedish guys, the workers, they are working, paying taxes as usual. But the Spanish guys, they will work less now. See? And this guy in Spain, the PM, his name is Sanchez. He looks like a man. He's tall and he's dark, but he's acting like a bad woman. He's a globalist puppet, bad lady. Really. And about the Swedish government, I never hear them talk about the side effects, or they will do nothing about Big Pharma. I'm sure of it. And they are still pushing the tea. And meanwhile, they are doing things that will make the Swedes more happy. They are closing down some Islamic schools. They are making it harder for people to come to Sweden. And people say, this is great, right? But they will not do anything about Big Pharma. Nothing. And it's hard for me to trust even the politicians that I like this guy in Canada, Poilievre. I like this guy. But my question is, will he do anything about Big Pharma? I don't know. So you tell me. I don't trust him, you see. The same thing with Trump. I like him, sort of, right? But again, will he do anything about Big Pharma? I don't think so, you see. I don't like it. Right. That's all. Be good.